Book review: Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. Lisa Jewell, a seasoned author in the realm of domestic thrillers, returns with Don't Let Him In, the novel that inquires the dark undercurrents of deception and the fragility of trust. In this intricate tale, Jewell weaves together the lives of three women, Nina, Ash, and Martha, who find themselves connected by a man whose charm and charisma mask sinister reality. Don't Let Him In is chilling exploration, manipulation, the slow burn of suspicion, and the devastating consequences of ignoring one's instincts. Plot summary: Lisa Jewell's Don't Let Him In weaves a complex web of deceit, suspicion, and danger, focusing on the intertwined lives of three women connected to a man who may not be who he seems. The novel delves into themes of trust, betrayal, and the hidden darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. The story begins with Nina Swan grappling with the sudden and tragic death of her husband, Paddy, a charisma. Restaurateur is killed when he is pushed in front of a train. Nina and her adult daughter, Ash, are left to pick up the pieces. Amid their grief, they receive an unexpected package from a man named Nick Radcliffe. Nick claims to have been an old colleague of Paddy's and sends a lighter that once belonged to him along with a kind and thoughtful note. While Nina is touched by Nick's gesture, Ash is immediately suspicious of him. She finds him too polished, too perfect, instinctively feels that something isn't right. As Nina and Nick's correspondence evolves into a budding romantic relationship, Ash's unease grows. She begins to investigate Nick, driven by a need to protect her mother from what she perceives as a potential threat. Ash's suspicions lead her down a twisting path, uncovering unsettling details about Nick's past and raising questions about his true intentions. In a parallel narrative, the reader is introduced to Martha, a florist living in a neighboring town. Martha is married to Alistair Al, and they have a baby daughter along with Martha's two sons from a previous marriage. Alistair is frequently away on business trips, leaving Martha feeling increasingly isolated and overwhelmed. She struggles to balance her work, her family responsibilities, and her growing sense that something is amiss in her marriage. Alistair's explanations for his absences are plausible, but Martha can't shake the feeling that he is keeping secrets from her. She begins to notice inconsistencies and suspect that Alistair is leading a double life. As the story progresses, Jewell masterfully connects the lives of Nina, Ash, and Martha, revealing a shocking truth that is far more sinister than any of them could have imagined. It becomes increasingly clear that Nick and Alistair are not who they appear to be, and that their deceptions have far-reaching and dangerous consequences. The novel explores the complexities of human relationships, the ease with which people can deceive those closest to them, and the devastating impact of those deceptions. It delves into the psychology of the characters, examining their motivations, their vulnerabilities, and their capacity for both love and betrayal. Ash's investigation into Nick becomes a race against time as she tries to uncover the truth before her mother becomes too deeply involved. Martha, on the other hand, is forced to confront the reality of her husband's lies and make difficult choices about her future and the safety of her children. The tension escalates as the two narratives converge, revealing the connection between Nick and Alistair and the extent of their manipulation. The women find themselves in a dangerous situation, realizing they should have heeded the warning. Don't Let Him In. Jewell expertly crafts a suspenseful and twisty narrative, keeping the reader guessing until the very end. The novel is characterized by its well-developed characters, its intricate plot, and its exploration of dark psychological themes. It is a story about the fragility of trust, the resilience of women, and the lengths to which some people will go to maintain their secrets. A masterclass in suspense, Jewell's strength lies in her ability to create a palpable sense of unease from the very first page. In Don't Let Him In, she wastes no time in establishing an atmosphere of suspicion and dread. The novel opens in the aftermath of a tragedy, the sudden death of Paddy Swan, a beloved restaurateur whose life is cut short in a senseless act of violence. Paddy's death sends ripples through his family, leaving his wife Nina and his daughter Ash reeling. Into this vortex of grief steps Nick Radcliffe, a man who claims to be an old friend of Paddy's. Nick's arrival seems to offer a glimmer of comfort to Nina, who is still reeling from the loss of her husband. However, Ash, Paddy's perceptive and fiercely protective daughter, is immediately wary of Nick. There's something about him, slickness, practice, charm, that sets her on edge. As Nina becomes increasingly drawn to Nick, Ash's suspicions deepen. She embarks on a clandestine investigation, determined to uncover the truth about this enigmatic man who has so quickly insinuated himself into her mother's life. Ash's journey is fraught with peril as she delves into Nick's past and discovers a series of unsettling revelations. Meanwhile, in a seemingly separate narrative, Jewell introduces Martha, a hard-working florist and mother who is married to Alistair. Alistair's frequent business trips and increasingly erratic behavior raise red flags for Martha. She loves her husband, but she can't shake the feeling that he is keeping secrets from her. As Martha begins to question Alistair's absences, she finds herself drawn into a web of deceit that threatens to unravel her carefully constructed life. The art of character development, one of the most compelling aspects of Don't Let Him In, is Jewell's skillful character development. Each of the three female protagonists is crafted with depth and nuance, making them feel incredibly real and relatable. Ash is perhaps the most immediately engaging character. She is intelligent, independent, and fiercely loyal to her family. Her initial skepticism of Nick is rooted in a deep-seated intuition that something is amiss. As she begins to investigate Nick, she demonstrates a remarkable tenacity and resourcefulness. Ash's determination to protect her mother, even in the face of potential danger, makes her a compelling and admirable heroine. Nina, in contrast to her daughter, is more vulnerable and emotionally open. Still grieving the loss of her husband, she is drawn to Nick's charm and apparent kindness. Nina's desire for connection and comfort makes her susceptible to Nick's manipulation. Jewell portrays Nina with great empathy, allowing the reader to understand her motivations without condoning her naivete. Martha's hardworking and devoted mother who is struggling to balance the demands of her business and her family. Her growing suspicion of Alistair is fueled by a sense of unease that slowly chips away at her confidence and her sense of security. Martha's journey is one of increasing self-doubt and growing aware that the man she loves may not be the man she thought he was. The male characters, particularly Nick and Alistair, are equally well drawn, albeit in much darker light. Jewell masterfully portrays them as charming and charismatic on the surface, while hinting at the sinister depths that lie beneath. Themes of deception and manipulation. Don't Let Him In is at its core a novel about deception and manipulation. Jewell explores the insidious ways in which people can manipulate those closest to them, often with devastating consequences. The novel delves into the psychology of the manipulator, examining their motivations, their tactics, and their ability to exploit the vulnerabilities of their victims. The theme of trust and its fragility is also sent to the novel. Both Nina and Martha are forced to confront the possibility that the men they have placed their trust in have betrayed them in the most profound way. Jewell highlights the devastating impact that such betrayal can have on an individual's sense of self and their ability to form meaningful relationships in the future. The novel also touches on the theme of female intuition and the importance of listening to one's gut feelings. Both Ash and Martha experience a sense of unease that they initially struggle to articulate. As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that their instincts were correct and that their initial suspicions were well-founded. The twisting, turn-filled plot. Jewell is a master of crafting intricate and suspenseful plots, and Don't Let Him In is no exception. The novel is filled with twists and turns that keep the reader guessing until the very end. Just when you think you have figured out what is going on, Jewell throws in another Kirby ball, upending your expectations and leaving you breathless with anticipation. The pacing of the novel is expertly controlled. Jewell takes her time establishing characters and setting the stage, gradually building the tension until it becomes almost unbearable. The short, sharp chapters contribute to the sense of urgency, propelling the narrative forward at a breakneck speed. The way Jewell weaves together the seemingly separate narratives of Nina, Ash, and Martha is particularly skillful. As the story progresses, the connections between the three women become increasingly clear, leading to a climax that is both shocking and satisfying. The satisfying, if dark, read Don't Let Him In is a dark and suspenseful novel that will appeal to fans of domestic thrillers. It is a story that will stay with you long after you have turned the final page, prompting you to question the nature of trust and the hidden darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most seemingly ordinary lives. Jewell's latest offering is a testament to her skill as a storyteller. She has crafted a novel that is both gripping and thought-provoking, with characters that are both relatable and compelling. While the subject matter is undeniably dark, Jewell handles it with sensitivity and nuance, never resorting to gratuitous violence or shock tactics. The ending of the novel is both satisfying and unsettling. Jewell ties up the loose ends of the plot, providing a sense of closure, but she also leaves the reader with a lingering sense of unease. This is the story that reminds us that evil can often wear a charming face and that sometimes the greatest danger comes from those we least suspect.